Welcome to our first podcast at American Iron Gym in Reno, Nevada. We are so excited to have you join us. We have an amazing team, incredible athletes, and we also have a pretty amazing lineup of guest speakers. So I know you're thinking that this is all about big, strong guys, right? Well, it is, but through our years of doing strength sports, we have found that everything we have learned and everything that we have done in strength training and competition relates to making us better in daily living. I'm 55 years old, and it has really helped me to have a functional life, and I want to share that with you. We want to share that with you. So some of what this podcast is not going to be is a shock podcast. We're here to give you real information that you can use at home to change your life, hopefully have a better life, be healthier, happier, and more functional, and live longer. So I want to introduce you to the team. This is Chad Ikes.
Yes, it is.
And this is Jesse Anderson. And I'm Tamara Lopes, and along with my husband, Robert Lopes, we own American Iron Gym. So welcome. Thanks for joining us. I know it's early, 6 a.m., and I hope that we can make your week a little brighter. So I'm going to let Chad talk a little bit about himself and kind of give you some history.
My name's Chad Ikes. I've been in powerlifting for since about, I think I did my first meet in '97. I went up the ranks. I was lifting in the days of the WPO, and I put up a lot of world records, a lot of championships. I think I had the 4th highest squat at the time, world record bench, 4th or 5th highest total of the time. That my lifting part of my career is kind of curtailed a little bit, but I'm still live in the sport. I'm a columnist for Elite FTS, who I've been with for well over 10 years, which you can read on elitefts.com. And I've been at American Iron since it opened. There's a lot of other stuff, but you'll hear it over. It's more reason for you to keep coming back to the podcast. I'll let a little bit out each time.
Chad, would you talk a little bit about one of your challenges that you have? Because I think a lot of people that come in this gym have a similar challenge. So maybe slightly different, but a similar challenge.
I've actually written quite a bit about this. I'm a type 2 bipolar, and I have narcolepsy, which has definitely been a big struggle for me that I feel like I have really well under control. And lifting was a part of that, and at times makes it hard. And I've tried to help a lot, or I'm proud to help people with that problem and to teach them kind of how to deal with it and how to better utilize it and control it. And I definitely think lifting can be a huge part of that.
This is Jesse Anderson, and Jesse's the youngest of this group. As a matter of fact,
By a lot.
By a lot. My weight belt is older than Jesse is old. But it's exciting. We love having young talent, and we love watching that talent grow, both physically and emotionally, and with life skills. And Jesse is amazing. So Jesse, tell everyone a little bit about you.
My name is Jesse Anderson. I'm 21 years old, youngest person to squat over 900 pounds in competition. One of the short-term goals that I have for myself. Been powerlifting for about 2 years now, and been weightlifting, weight training for about 5 years. So I'm pretty new to the sport, but found a passion for it pretty quick.
You got a big future coming up.
For sure.
Thank you. So next planned meet is in April. I'm going to do nationals, and then from there plan on going to GPC Worlds in Serbia in 2016. Expect huge numbers on the platform.
And there's one more amazing story we got here. Tammy's got a lifetime of amazing story she can tell about herself.
So I already mentioned that my husband and I own this gym, and it's a passion for us. and it has been. I've been weight training for over 37 years. So when I said my weight belt is older than Jesse, it's way older than Jesse. I started competing at a national level in the late 80s through the 90s. Competed through the IPF. I went to World Games. Have a world championship, and proud to say that all my IPF competitions I medaled, mostly silvers. Oh, God, it's that bridesmaid thing, you know. But I finally did make the bride. I finally did make that gold, and then I have a world record in the bench. And I think one of the things that I'd like to let people know is that I think you guys would agree, I don't have the body to be a power lifter. I have small joints, narrow hips, I have really long femur links. So all the things that they tell you that, oh, you shouldn't power lift, don't believe what people say. If you have a passion for something, follow your dreams and follow your passion. I was diagnosed at about age 12 of having juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and lifting weights saved my life in the sense that it kept me functional. So I have an awesome life. I love my life. And weightlifting has been a big part of it. I had a 25-year career in the fire service, which I'm now retired from. I never would have been able to pass the test and do that job if it hadn't been for weightlifting. Weightlifting, especially, I'm not saying it's not great for boys, but for young women, it's incredible. It gives you self-esteem, it gives you confidence, and it can change your life.
It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. One of the things I want to touch on really quickly is that there's so many different podcasts out there and there's so many people doing this. We want to kind of come from a different perspective in this one. And one of the things that I've learned through all of my experiences in strength training is that there's tons of different perspectives and everybody has different viewpoints, and just because we disagree, which we're actually going to disagree on a lot of stuff.
we do, but with respect and love.
But I think that's a great thing that you don't see very often, because just because I think this certain way is great, I'm not going to tell everyone to do it just my way, because there may be another athlete that I really look up to and would let coach anybody I work with, but he does it a little different way. One thing about strength is there's an individuality to it, and you got to find what works for you. And another part of this podcast is, between all of our years in this sport, we have an enormous amount of really successful friends that we're going to bring on this show to get out to you people, and so you can just learn more and more about it. And no matter what your sport is, strength is going to help. So why not learn strength from the best of the best in strength?
Not only your sport, but your life, right?
Sport and life, yeah.
Everything you do takes strength.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that happens to us as we age is we lose muscle and we lose strength. And that's a huge criteria for how fast you're aging. So let's stop that. There's a way that you can stop it.
We lose stability in our joints,
Yep.
we lose strength, we lose flexibility. And I mean, even I'm older, getting older, but just because I'm older, I still want to do stuff that I do when I'm young. I'm 44, I just started riding BMX bikes again. Part of my ability to do that is that I've done weight training for so long that I can switch and want to do whatever I want. You know, and it's all because of that.
And don't say, oh, I'm too old to start now.
Oh yeah, that's horrible.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
That just does not play in this gym. We have members that are in their 80s. Eddie didn't start training until he was 82, and he came to our gym because he had diabetes and he had to do something. And thank God for his insurance that offered him a gym membership.
Right.
Never been in a gym in his life. Eddie's here 6 days a week now.
And
He loves it.
Don't forget about Ernie, who benched
man.
315 in the gym at 75.
Yeah.
I know
In
guys,
this gym.
I know teenage kids that can't bench 315.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think too, if you look at older people, when they fall, it's drastic. They're, breaking a hip, a shoulder,
their,
something.
Their bone density.
And when you see them fall, it seems like it's almost in slow motion. They just don't have that muscle reactiveness, that you get from
Not like
benefit.
when we fall, it's fast.
It's dramatic to everyone around you. The earth shakes. But I mean, why do they fall?
I mean, I just feel like that the muscle that you gain from weight training, especially the fast twitch muscle fibers, I mean, as you age, you kind of lose those. And I mean, weight training obviously.
If you don't do
that's-
anything about it,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean-
and muscle gives you balance.
Mhm.
If you don't have muscle, you don't have balance.
Mhm.
So you're more likely to fall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct.
So basically, you could not weight train your whole life, be 60 years old, come into the gym and put muscle back on and feel like you're 20 again.
Yeah.
Or even
probably
better.
feel better
Yeah.
than you did when
Yeah.
you were 20 if you never did
Yeah.
anything physical when you were younger.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to watch that.
I think it's something that I think weight training scares a lot of people, and I think the right atmosphere can help with that. I know at American Iron there's so much stuff here, and we have such a variety of lifters. I love watching when a trainer comes in and puts the girls on the strongman equipment, and they may not be flipping the biggest tire, but you can just see the excitement in their face that they're like, "This is awesome! I love this. It's great."
Yeah.
Well, I
Who
think
And that's the other thing. It's great in this gym because we do have such a variety, and there's kind of a family here. I remember, I think I had one of my T-shirts on that said, I came into this world small, but I'm going out huge." And there's this little old lady behind me, and I'm like, "Hey." She's like, "That shirt's awesome."
There's no judgment here.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
It doesn't, I mean, we have women that are athletes, and the sports that they're in dictate.
I wouldn't say no judgment because I hate that statement.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me why. Tell
Why?
me why you think
Because
there's judgment.
if you have no judgment, whatever makes you get better. You get better because you judge yourself because other people judge you. I go to a meet and go, "Oh, that guy squatted 1,200 pounds. Damn it, I'm only squatting 11.
You know,
I need to squat 12."
you're right. Let me refine that statement. People here respect whatever your path is. They don't
Yes.
judge your
Yes.
individual path, and they support that, whatever that path is.
That's what it is. There's no judgment. There's support.
Their support.
If you want to
Yeah.
get in shape, if you want to lose weight, if you want to be
Right.
the strongest dude in the world, if you want to be a bodybuilder, if you want to be a strongman, you want to be a weightlifter, you want to be a highly game, doesn't matter.
Right, right. You have that support here.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what your body weighs, right? It's all about that function and what you do with
Yeah.
it. And you're going to have support in that.
And I think it's almost a respect thing too, because I mean, it takes a lot of mental strength. I mean, whether you're a bodybuilder, a strongman, a powerlifter, you know, I mean, even Olympic lifting. I mean,
The
even
tennis,
just
the
to come into the
golfers.
gym. I mean,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of mental strength to come in here and beat yourself up basically every day. I mean,
That's what
So I
I
think
think. That's what I absolutely love about the sport of all things is the mental aspect of it. More than anything, I love the mental aspect.
I agree. And that's what I'm saying that translates to life.
Mm-hmm.
Weight training has given me the ability to not be fearful of trying anything, right?
I actually was just talking to a friend of mine, Jeff Frank, the other day, who started a site on Facebook called SOS, and it stands for Suicide Over Strength. And basically, he also deals with a lot of depression. And his whole stance is that weightlifting can help do that. It can help give you the confidence, and it can actually change your whole life. I mean, you have something to shoot for. You have goals. You're obtaining goals. It helps everything. I mean, all around.
I think that's why all three of us have talked so much about doing youth programs, because it made such a difference in our lives when we were young that we want to share that with youth, especially youth that
I
have
might be
challenges.
in prison if I wouldn't have found weightlifting.
For sure, I definitely homicide, no doubt.
So you got a little bit of taste of the three of us today and kind of what we're going to do. Our next podcast is we're going to interview Dan Green, who, if you don't know who Dan Green is, you're probably not into powerlifting. But Dan Green is an amazing raw lifter at 220,
220 and 242s.
holds, I think, all the world records basically at 220. And we're going to have him at the gym here to do a seminar, and we're going to pull him to the side and get some interviews with him for you guys to see. And
his
we're going to go
wife,
over some
Sparkle.
training too.
Sparkle too.
And Sparkle
She's
too.
amazing, right? Very
Yes.
entertaining.
So
And-
that's a big deal having Dan here, and
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of great, amazing information coming out of that.
Could you kind of define what raw is? Because I think a lot of people don't understand what raw versus geared lifting is.
It's like having a stock dragster or a pro stock and top fuel. Raw is basically wearing a belt, sometimes knee wraps and wrist wraps, but basically it's like you saw guys lift in the 70s. Geared, we have certain bench shirts, squat suits, thicker wraps, wrist wraps to help us basically lift more, support more, and so that's basically it. Top Fuel and stock. Both of which are awesome. I love both. I have,
Incredible.
yeah,
Absolutely.
both of them are absolutely incredible.
Yep, very respectable, either one.
I was Top Fuel, but I'm doing some stock right now. So
More stock. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Like I said before, we're really excited to be here with you, and I hope that you will tune in next week to visit us again and Dan Green.